मैडम अमित राणा नहीं वो ऑफ कर लो, ऑफ ही है मैडम अमित राणा। मैडम अमित राणा।
हेलो
अच्छा मैडम अमित राणा।
हाँ जी सर.
So you and Madam Nidhi Mahajan are being made co-host.
Okay sir.
ये आपके ना उस तरफ आई थिंक फोन पे भी चल रहा है, लैपटॉप पे भी चल रहा है.
हाँ जी सर, मैं एक्चुअली ऑफिस में थी और वैसे लैपटॉप में चल रहा है.
हाँ, सो ये एक पे चलाओ है ना, वो ज्यादा बेटर.
ये तो यहाँ से सब म्यूट कर दूंगी.
ओके ओके
ओके सर. हाँ जी सर.
सो इसके बाद जो मैडम निधि महाजन आप जो अपनी वो है एंथम, हु विल प्ले द एंथम. आपके ना उस तरफ आई थिंक फोन पे भी चल रहा है, लैपटॉप पे भी चल रहा है. यूट्यूब में एक्चुअली ऑफिस में थी और वैसे लैपटॉप. ठीक, ओके. सो ये एक पे ये करके अच्छा. ये स्ट्रीमिंग को बनता नहीं होगी. नहीं वो तो करते रहेंगे. आ देना तो ऐसा इतने चली जाता है ना यूट्यूब पे भी इस करके. सो गूगल पे मैंने आप दोनों को और किसी को बनाना को होस्ट. वो तो जरूर आएंगे, किसी और ने कुछ करना. आपका एक फोन पे चल रहा है. फोन पे भी चल रहा है. अच्छा छोटा नहीं है सादा टच. यहाँ पे लैपटॉप का जो स्पीकर है ना वो उसको ऑन करके इसको ऑफ कर देना. ये वैसे भी ऑफ ही है. ठीक है, चलो ठीक है फिर. मैडम को कर दिया. मैडम दरिया को कितने बजे आना है? सेंड भी करा ठीक. उन्नी पार्टिसिपेंट इन्होंने भेजा नहीं लिंक. मैडम
बिल्कुल जी बिल्कुल सर. 39
मैडम
बिल्कुल जी बिल्कुल सर. बिल्कुल. हाँ जी. नहीं सर जरूर. नौकर वाली कोई गल ही नहीं है. ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੀ ਵਜੂਦ ਸੀ. हाँ ठीक. रमन मैम बिल्कुल जी मिलके काम करते हैं. हाँ जी आलो कर लो कंचन मैम ना गल.
मैं लैपटॉप ही बैठी इधर हमें कराना. ओके मैडम निधि महाजन. मैडम अमित.
सर.
Okay, you can able to mute yourself ना.
Sir, not on my laptop.
ओके ये अभी भी पीछे की प्रॉब्लम आ रही है.
इस पे तो हो रहा है फोन पे, पर उस पे नहीं हो रहा सर.
ओके कोई बात नहीं. सो माय वॉइस इज क्लियर ऑडिबल.
यस सर.
आपकी तरफ से आवाज कम आ रही है. आपके पास 2-3 लैपटॉप चल रहे हैं वहां पे.
एक लैपटॉप पे तो सर वो चल रहा है यूट्यूब.
नहीं फिर यूट्यूब भी क्रिएट करेगा. या तो यूट्यूब वालों को बोल दो किसी और रूम में बैठ जाएं. यूट्यूब को कोई बात नहीं, वो चल रहा है, आप शो हो रहा है अपने इस पे. दैट्स विजिबल ऑन योर स्क्रीन. So we need not check on that YouTube. If there are more than one laptop near you, so please ask them to sit in another room or either switch off their laptop. Otherwise, it will create problem.
Yes, sir. They've sit on like they've moved to the sofa.
Now it's okay.
Yes, sir. Gym में नहीं ये मानता यही वाला ये
V वाला है V वाला
सर इस पे या मैं
सर जो फ्री दे हुए बात है ना सारे एक
Good morning, all of you. Honorable College Director, Dr. Mrs. Sukhwinder Kaurji, Vice Director, Professor, the esteemed resource person of today, Dr. Mrs. Mahinder Kaurji, the teachers from different parts of the country, and my dear colleagues. I extend a very warm welcome to you all in this national webinar on Naac accreditation process. So as is customary, we'll try to begin this program with the Punjab University Anthem. Let us all join and listen to the Punjab University Anthem to pay our respects to our alma mater.
ज्वाइन किया ना असली ने ही ज्वाइन किया ना तो लिखा है गुरजीत आईफोन ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਖੋਲੇਗਾ WhatsApp ਲਿੰਕ ਤੇ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰੋ WhatsApp ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਇਜ਼ ਨੋ ਸਟ੍ਰੀਮ मैम इस पे क्लिक करता है
सही गलत की समझ पढ़ाता जीवन पुस्तक रोज पढ़ाकर सही गलत की समझ पढ़ाता तेरी जय गो शंख बजाए बखरी तेरी शोहरत सदा सदा रहे तेरी शान और शौकत सदा रहे पंजाब विश्वविद्यालय तेरी शान और शौकत सदा रहे तम सो
Dear participants, our college, Govt.Science College Grau, is a star status awardee college and preparing for the third cycle of accreditation by Naac In the second cycle of accreditation, a college was given the B++ grade. And the framework of the Naac, that was a question mark for us, found that there were many doubts, there were many things which need to be solved, there were many doubts in the minds. At the same time, we realized that the other teachers of other institutions who are playing such roles in the education, who are preparing SSRs, the process of Naac accreditation, must be feeling the same things which we are feeling, that there should be something, some platform which clears our doubts about the revised guidelines by Naac. So a need was felt for such kind of a platform where we can join with some expert to guide us about the Naac accreditation process according to the revised guidelines of Naac. So this was the idea which came to our mind, and this webinar was planned with the help of the organizing committee, the Department of Chemistry. And during this COVID-19 period, as we know, the COVID-19 period has affected us in many ways, and it is difficult for us to join and meet together to discuss the things and solve the issues which are in our minds. But the COVID-19 period, as this has affected our lives, at the same time, as we see, every coin has two sides. So in the same way, during this COVID period, we are also becoming accustomed to the online tools and techniques which we are using. So this was the idea with which this webinar was planned, that so that all the teaching fraternity, the teachers from different parts of the country, they may get information which we like to disseminate to them. So we welcome all of you for joining us online in this national webinar. Teaching profession has given us many things, and it is the time we give something back to the teaching profession. So again, I welcome the director ma'am, the resource person of today, Dr. Mahinder Kaur Garewal ji, and all the teachers from different parts of the country, and my dear colleagues, I extend a hearty welcome to all of you in this national webinar. So welcome you all. Now over to Madam Amit Rana ji.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to all the dignitaries, chief guests, and professors from different colleges from different parts of India. With great joy and immense exultation, I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all present here for the national webinar. I'm profusely elated to take an opportunity to introduce our director, Dr. Sukhwinder Kaur. She is currently serving as the principal of Government College for Girls, Ludhiana. At the same time, she is serving as a director of a worthy college, that is Govt.Science College, Jagraon. Madam has a humble career as a humble teacher, and she rose to the position of the director with a total of 34 years of teaching experience. And still, she always shows a keen interest in the educative process. She did her PhD in management with being a gold medalist in Masters of Commerce. She has numerous roles and numerous publications in national and international publications. Apart from this, she has been invited as a resource person for a number of popular lectures, seminars, and workshops. She has been awarded with the Award of Leadership at Women Leadership Summit, Education Award for Excellence, Punjab Heritage Award, State Level Spiritual Trainer Award, and many more awards. We need not say about our director, the whole college campus is vibrating and echoing her presence. Now, I would like to request our college director to please say a few words and welcome address for our worthy chief guest. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good morning.
Good morning.
We are lucky to have Dr. Mahinder Kaur Garewal as speaker for today's session. She is the most appropriate person for today's webinar, as she has vast experience in the field of research and administration. And moreover, she has worked as Naac advisor too. I want to congratulate all the participants of today's session in advance, as I know that they are going to gain a lot from this interaction. I salute to the elevated thought of UGC which has given birth to the National Assessment and Accreditation Council. It will not be wrong to say that it is the certification process of colleges and universities by NAC that has made institutions of higher learning more quality consciousness. We do witness improvement in various aspects of education, like infrastructure, teaching learning aids. Moreover, there is a shift of attention from syllabi teaching to all-round growth of students. I support even more tougher testing criterions for all educational institutions because this will lead to qualitative changes in the field of education. And it's only thereafter that we can think of getting promising doctors, engineers, teachers, administrators, and entrepreneurs in our country. I appreciate the efforts of IQAC of Govt.Science College for organizing this important webinar and inviting the most appropriate person for interaction on this topic. Although many adjectives can be used to define the personality of today's speaker, Dr. Mahinder Kaur Garewal, but I would like to use 3 S to define her. These are simple, straightforward, and strong intellectual personality. We welcome you, ma'am. Those who know her will completely align with my appreciation for her. I'm pretty sure about this. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our request and agreeing to share your vast knowledge with all of us. Thank you.
Thank you for nice words.
Thank you, ma'am. Let us now welcome the woman who does not need any introduction and is known among all of us for her wisdom and her knowledge, a worthy resource person, Dr. Mahinder Kaur Garewal ji. She retired from the post of principal from Government College for Girls, Ludhiana. The total experience of 34 years and 5 months. She served as a professor from 1984 till 2013, and thereafter she served as a principal till 2017. She has served as an associate professor at our prestigious college from 1984 till 2006 and has been the head and professor, Department of Botany, Government College for Girls, Ludhiana. She served as the principal at LLR Government College, Dudike, had the DDO powers at Government College Zira, Director of Govt.Science College, Jagrao, and retired as a principal from Government College for Girls, Ludhiana. She has done her PhD in botany from Punjab Agricultural University, Ludhiana. She has been conferred with the Lifetime Education Achievement Award, Best Nodal Officer Award, Best Educationist Award, National Mahila Ratna Gold Medal Award, International Education Leadership Award, and many more awards. She has published a total of 34 papers, out of which 7 are international and 27 are national. Apart from this, she has published 5 books. She has been invited as a resource person to about 200 events like national, international, state level conferences, workshops, and seminars. She is an academic consultant of NAC. Now, I would request Dr. Mahinder Kaur Garewal ji, the resource person of today's function, to preside over the national webinar on preparing SSR. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Veta. So nice of you for saying so many good words about me. I don't know whether I deserve them or not. Today, I am in such an emotional mood, at this time, because I am going to say something about NAC accreditation in the institution which has been my Karam Bhumi for 22 years. Because as Government College of Science, Education and Research, Jagrao, to which in Punjabi we used to say Sanmati Sarkari Vigyan Te Khoj College, Jagrao. There I joined the very first day of my government job as an assistant professor in 1984. So today is the day when my friend Dr. Sukhvinder Kaur is leading this college as drawing and disbursing authority. And after such a long time, especially during the pandemic, otherwise My college has been inviting me. Otherwise, I don't need any invitation from my college. I visit my college very often. But now this is a very special time when all of us are passing through a very, very special phase of our life. And I was thinking that so many institutions, they are carrying on their activities online. So many webinars at state level, national level, international level. I think I have participated in more than 200 webinars since the last March, my online last conference was at Nagpur in month of February. Then later on, one conference in one of the colleges in Punjab at Govindgarh. But after that, all the activities are online only. So when the Madam Niti talked to me regarding the Naac process, she said, we need your guidance and we need a lecture for that. So immediately I asked her that which app you will be using. So I will not use your time to tell the details, but within these 3-4 days, they were empowered like anything. They have managed their own app, not only manage their own app, I think they are streaming today's conference online at the YouTube also. I think these scientists, they are motivated by my friend who is working on empowerment, a person working in spirituality. And I have used her wisdom and expertise while we were carrying on Naac process in Government College for Girls, Ludhiana. And that is the college from where I did my pre-medical. There I served as a teacher. Then I retired as a principal. So I am really proud of this fact and proud of my college. And that was the college where we had the journey of passing through B grade to A grade. So Madam Sukhwinder Kaur knows the hard work we did for those 2 years using our data and activities and all that. And I am feeling very proud to announce that our college was raised to the A grade. Now, I am sure that that college will achieve the greater heights. But coming back to my Sanmati Government College of Science, Education and Research, this is the college from where first time I heard of Naac, So otherwise I will go on talking without starting my presentation. I will share my presentation. Now let me acknowledge the role of Professor Nirmal Singh first. Professor Nirmal Singh is our old student from Govt.Science College, Jagrao, and these days he is the senior most professor in the college. And during this pandemic time only, just I gave his number to one of the NGOs and one of the person working in environment field. Govt.Science College has raised a natural forest, a mini forest in the college. I am proud of this person and he has cooperated so well. Now, Madam Niti, I have seen her work. She is a very hard-working person. And coming to Jitinder Singh. Jitinder Singh is now the head of the botany department. He joined during my tenure as a teacher. Then I have seen his work as a director also in the college. So today he is the host of this meeting. All the rest of the young staff is very, very active in this institution. Now, why I am pointing all this is, that is because they are to manage the third cycle of Naac in the college. And college is having many activities. And this was my tenure as a director when this college was awarded as a star status. Now I will request all of you to keep your audio at the mute level so that my audience is not disturbed. Kindly allow me to share the screen. Kindly allow me to share the screen.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Ji.
You can share your screen.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, visible, it's visible.
Now let me make it to the slide share mode.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible now.
Okay. So Niti was actually asking that we should discuss the writing of the SSR. Then I told her in detail that this is a very lengthy process having so many aspects. First of all, let us have an overall view of the process. So the title of my presentation is Naac Revised Assessment and Accreditation Framework, a bird's eye view. So we will be talking just briefly about every aspect of this process. I always start my webinars of Naac with this definition of education. Education is not learning of the facts, but the training of the mind to think. You know, this is not just mugging up. So all of us have tried to train our mind up to certain extent. How much you train your mind, up to how much control you have on your mind, that will depend upon the type of education you have got. So this aim we should keep in mind while teaching our students. Now, last year in month of July, we got our National Education Policy 2020. On 29th July, this document was released. I always remind today's generation about this policy before discussing anything else. Now, the quality universities and colleges, a new and forward vision for India's higher education system. How much forward we will move, that time will tell, because how much activities happened during this 1 year that is in front of you. Higher education must form the basis for knowledge creation and innovation, thereby contributing to a growing national economy. Now, sustainable transformation of India according to the vision of the new policy. So we are to learn to be sustainable. This is a big word. And in Naac process also, you will find this word when we go for the 7th criterion. High quality education to all. So quality part is very, very important according to the new policy. Development of knowledge, skills, values, and dispositions that support responsible commitment to human rights, sustainable development and living, and global well-being, thereby reflecting a truly goal. So according to our national education policy, we are to develop our students into global citizens, they say. So what type of credential they should have, a global citizen should have, that for that we will put, all the institutions will have to put their efforts. Now, establishment of a national research foundation to fund peer-reviewed research and to actively seed research in universities and colleges. Light but tight regulation by a single regulator for higher education. They say for regulation, now we have many different bodies. Let us see when we will get one regulating body at the national level. Now, catalyzing quality academic research in all fields through a new national research foundation. So these are the only few points I'm taking. And a very, very important aspect of this is climate change, population dynamics and management, biotechnology, and expanding digital marketplace, rise of machine learning and artificial intelligence. Best teaching and learning practices at higher education level go hand in hand with the strong culture of research and knowledge creation. Multidisciplinary university settings are ideal for best research. You know, in the national policy, the emphasis is being put on either research intensive institutions or teaching intensive institutions. And according to this policy, every institution is to have a desire or to aspire for autonomous, being the autonomous institution. Now here, this is the menu of Naac, which is Manual for Self-Study Report of Affiliated and Constituent Colleges. I have taken this only because today I was supposed to talk with the college teachers. Otherwise, we have three types of manuals as such for general institutions. One is for university, another one is for autonomous college, and this is for the affiliated or the constituent colleges of the universities. This is a booklet, this is a small book. You should first go through each and every word of this manual before you start writing your self-study report. This is must. You can download it from the Naac website by clicking on the apply online part of the website, and you will have different type of manuals over there. So depending upon your university, you can download from there. So whenever we talk about the quality, so we talk about a right qualification framework should be there. That the process or the framework which is to measure the quality, that should be right. Then infrastructure, then learning resources, then faculty, then the delivery mechanism, as we will going into details in each criterion. Then right encouragement for research and consultancy. This is more important for universities and autonomous colleges for the time being. Then right programs for institution specific staff development. Then mechanism for the internal quality assurance system. Then faculty should be capable, should be committed, should be competent. Students should be, for quality, there should be a choice, there should be conviction, there should be certitude. And the students should be capable of being educated, enlightening, and empowering. So by keeping these things in mind, let us shift our focus back to our assessment and accreditation process. Now, kindly request the audience to keep your mics on mute. Now, India has one of the largest and diverse education system in the world. And this National Assessment and Accreditation Council, this came into existence in 1994 by UGC. This is an autonomous institution of UGC whose headquarters are Bangalore. So today I'm talking to you from Bangalore itself. The NAC functions through its General Council and Executive Committee, comprising educational administrators, policy makers, and senior academicians from a cross-section of Indian higher education system. Now, what is the vision of NAC? The vision is to make quality the defining element of higher education in India through a combination of self and external quality evaluation, promotion, and sustenance. Quality doesn't mean that when we are to get our institution accredited, only those days we are to think about the quality. No, this should be part and parcel of the institution's life. Now, first of all, institution is given the opportunity to judge themselves by preparing their own self-study report. So you study your system, you find out your weaknesses, strengths, and challenges, and then you prepare this document. Only that document is kept as the basis for external quality evaluation. Then there is external quality evaluation. So there are two motives. One is promotion of the quality and other one is sustenance. You know, according to my view, sustenance is much more important first and then promotion. Because during these days, as the time is passing, it is becoming very, very difficult to sustain the already practiced quality initiatives and then promotion. So we should always aspire for higher and higher. So this is the main vision of NAC. The institution should make quality as the part and parcel of their practices, and they should be capable of self-evaluating themselves, and they should be capable of getting a good grade from the external agency so that their already existing quality is maintained as well as promoted. Now, whenever there is some vision, because according to the NAC process, every institution should have their own vision. And in order to fulfill the vision, there is mission statement. So similarly, this autonomous body NAC has its mission statement to arrange for periodic assessment and accreditation of institutions of higher education or units thereof or specific academic programs or the projects. So you can go for accreditation of a particular program itself to stimulate the academic environment for promotion of quality in teaching, learning, and research in higher education institutions, to encourage self-evaluation, accountability, autonomy, and innovations in higher education, to undertake quality-related research studies, consultancy, and training programs. So this work is going on these days during the pandemic time when the accreditation process was halted in the institutions, but the research work is going on in the NAC body. To collaborate with other stakeholders of higher education for quality evaluation, promotion, and sustenance. They have the collaborations with many foreign organizations also. Now, there are certain core values. Based upon these core values, the revised accreditation framework is formed. Now, what are these core values? First of all, contributing to national development. This is the major aim of each and every institution, because we are raising our human resource. And the human resource which we are training, we are raising, we are empowering, they are involved directly in our national development. There are some institutions which are generating revenue also. So by every mean, whenever there is national development, a development is always better if the institutions are better. So in India, we need to care for our higher education institutions, and this is one of the core value of NAC also. Then fostering global competencies among the students, because according to the National Higher Education new policy also, we aim to aspire for making our students as global, better global citizens. So we are to foster the competencies where they can compete at the international level, up to the international level, starting from the local level. Then inculcating a value system among students. This is needed for in each and every sphere of life. They used to say that in our country is based on a very strong value system. But when I observe our today's population, I find in certain values our new generation is better, because our old generation, we people are having double standards. But on the other side, if our new generation is lost some value system, that means we have failed. So we are bother about inculcating the value system among the students. So in NAC process, it is observed that how the institution is taking up positive steps to make a value citizen, a student who is having a strong values or a strong character. Then promoting the use of technology. This is the need of the hour. This we have realized in pandemic also. I think NAC was the body, autonomous body which has first of all realized the use of technology. They emphasized the use of technology during first cycle of Govt.Science College ground accreditation in 2004. I think our college was accredited for first cycle. That was the time when they were putting emphasis on the computers, number of computers compared to the number of students and all that. But now we realize much more, and this use of technology is hastened a lot during this pandemic times. But NAC is promoting this use of technology since 1994. Then quest for excellence. Every institution, as I have already stated, should aspire for higher and higher. Now, because we have already undergone 2 cycles, we know when we applied for the NAC assessment at that time, we went for this letter of intent. First of all, there was letter of intent. Then there was institutional eligibility for quality assurance. But now, no, nothing like that. Now there is institutional information for quality assurance. No LOI, no IEQO is there. 7 criteria were there. Now also 7 criteria, but as we will study, we will further see that in 3rd and the 7th nomenclature changes there. Previously, we used to call there are 32 key aspects. Those key aspects are known as now key indicators, but they are not fixed for every type of institution. Their number varies based upon the type of institution, whether it is university or autonomous college, UG college or PG college. Initially, there were more than 300 questions and 32 key aspects, but now the number of matrices, now we call them matrices, that varies from institution to institution. because we cannot judge every institution based upon the same setup. So this was realized, and because Naac has evolved itself slowly during the time, so that is why the number and type of questions or the matrices, they vary from university, autonomous college, UG college and PG college. So initial terminology was question answer. Now these are the matrices. Now, initially there was pre-qualification of institutional eligibility quality for quality assurance. We used to call that IEQA. But now, at the time of data validation and verification, which was not there already, 25% pre-qualifier marks are needed or weightage is needed. Initially, the self-study report was submitted as hard copies. So when I was a teacher in Science College Jagrao, we had the first cycle. But when I was a director in Government Science College Jagrao, at that time, we prepared the self-study report for the cycle 2. And we sent those copies as hard copies. 6 hard copies were posted to Naac, Bengaluru at that time. But now everything is online. No hard copy is to be sent to Naac. That evaluation report or department, there were different evaluation reports at the departmental level. And the very important point is there was no data validation and verification at that time. We did not even heard of this term. But now third-party data validation and verification process is there. Student feedback was taken at the institutional level, but now there is student satisfaction survey by Naac itself. Now you are supposed to submit the data of the students at the time when you submit your self-study report. Now, score sheet was prepared by the visiting Naac team at that time for the 32 key aspects. Now, already I have stated that there is qualitative and there is quantitative metrics. So, peer team will be looking into only qualitative metrics, which is 36 in universities, 35 in autonomous college, 35 in UG college, and 36 in the PG college. Now, on-site visit schedule was different, 2 to 5% for the colleges, while 6 to 16 assessors for the universities. But now number is less, only 3 assessors will be visiting the college only for 2 days. So for university, the maximum 3 days can be used. Then previously it was totally a subjective process, fully dependent upon the peer team. But now 70% is DVV process, quantitative process, 30% maximum is looked into by the peer team. So similarly, fee change is there. Initially, there was no penalty provision. But now, if you submit the fraudulent data, then there is provision of penalty. If you look into the Naac site, on the very first page, you will find names of the certain universities or colleges which are blacklisted by giving wrong data. So you are never give any wrong data, never submit any wrong data, because this process is totally ICT driven now. Now, which institution is eligible? Now, higher education institution, if they have a record of at least 2 batches of students graduated or has been in existence for 6 years, whichever is earlier, are eligible to apply for the process of assessment and accreditation of Naac. So this is the eligibility for the institution which is the which has been established recently. Now the assessment process is carried out in 3 stages. First of all, there is self-study report, student satisfaction survey, and the peer team visit, and they will submit the report. The SSR has a total of 115 metrics for universities, 107 for autonomous colleges, 93 for UG college, and 96 for PG college, covering all the criteria. Already discussed, the SSR is having 2 types of metrics, qualitative and quantitative. In case of colleges, quantitative is 70%, it is covering the 70% of the weightage, while maximum 30% in case of qualitative metrics. These are the qualitative metrics which will be looked into by the peer team visiting the college. So maximum part is covered by the quantitative process. So this is a totally machine-driven process and very, very scalable, robust, honest process. Now, if we want to know the distribution of metrics and key indicators, criteria are 7 in university and 7 in all the types of institutions. Now, key indicators, 34 for universities, 34 for autonomous colleges, 31 for UG college, 32 for PG college. Our Govt.Science college is a PG college, so 32 key indicators will be there in the self-study report. Now, qualitative metrics, 36 in university, 35 in autonomous college, 31 in UG college, and qualitative are 36 in university, 35 in autonomous college, 35 in UG college, and 36 in case of PG. So this is the case of our science college. Now, quantitative metrics is 79 for university, 72 for autonomous college, 58 for UG college, and 60 for the PG college. And if we look to the total, it is 115, 107, 93, and for our college, it is 96. This is the overall distribution of the weightage. Now, quality indicator framework. The criteria-based assessment forms the backbone of assessment and accreditation process of Naac, as we have already seen the details. The 7 criteria represent the core functions and the activities of a higher education institution. So in the revised framework, not only the academic and administrative aspect of institution functioning, but also the emerging issues have been included. Now, criteria, the 7 criteria are named like this. The first criteria is pertaining to all the curricular aspects. And second criteria is teaching, learning, and evaluation. Actually, this is the criteria which is having maximum weightage. Third criteria is research, innovation, and extension. Fourth one is infrastructure and learning resources. Fifth is student support and progress. And sixth one is governance, leadership, and management. Seventh one is institutional values and best practices. So this is the criteria 3rd and the 7th, where the nomenclature is changed as compared to the previous system, which I have compared in the tabular form. Now, if we see the key indicators of curricular aspects or the first criterion, 1.1 is curriculum design and development, which is the major aspect of the universities. You know, in previous cycles, weightage was there for the colleges also. And every college was thinking that this curriculum is designed by the universities. There is no role or minimum role of the colleges, why we are losing marks for this. So that is why in the modified system, curriculum design and development weightage is given to the universities only. Then curriculum planning and implementation. In this case, maximum weightage is given to the affiliated colleges. Then academic flexibility. Then curriculum enrichment. We will study in details the day we will discuss these. Then very, very important aspect is feedback system. Initially, people used to take feedback and keep in the files and show to the visiting peer team that we have got this feedback. This is not sufficient now. You are to analyze your feedback. First of all, you are to take the feedback from different stakeholders and then analyze the feedback. Now, based upon that feedback system, you are to change your curricular aspects or any other aspect which is being dealt in the higher education institution. So you are to analyze the feedback, and this feedback should impact the future functioning of the institution. If we look at the weightage at this stage, in curriculum design and development, I told you that this is the main duty of the universities or the autonomous colleges. So this weightage is given only to the university and the autonomous college, and this is 50-50. While curricular planning and implementation weightage is given to the UG college and the PG college, and no weightage in this case is given to the university and the autonomous college. As far as academic flexibility is concerned, 50 in case of universities, 40 in case of autonomous college, 30 in affiliated UG college, and 30 in the PG college. While as far as curriculum enrichment is concerned, in which other than the curricular courses, additional knowledge given courses are dealt with. This is 30 for university, 40 for autonomous college, 30 for the UG and PG college. And feedback system, 20 marks for every type of institution. And the total for universities is 150 and autonomous college is also 150, while in UG and PG affiliated colleges, weightage of this first criterion is 100 only. Now, I will just exemplify one or two matrices we will discuss, because it is not possible in such a small time to discuss the whole one. As we have already discussed, we will have series of lectures, and maybe in the next very lecture, we can take up the details of the first criterion. Now, the example is the institution ensures effective curriculum delivery through a well-planned and documented process. You know, this matrix is a qualitative matrix, and this is pertaining to the colleges. That's why I have taken. So in all the qualitative matrices, you are just to write, give details. In this case, you are to give a write-up which may not exceed 500 words. So 500 or less words, you can write down that how this activity is being carried out in our institution. If there is any additional information that you can upload, and you can give the link for that additional information. You know, whenever in the self-study report, whenever you give link for additional information on your website, it should be a direct link. It is not that if that link is used, that your website opens and one is to look for the information over there. No, direct information should be opening up. You should be careful in that. Now, the 1.3.3 is percentage of students undertaking project work, field work, internship. You know, because in different courses or in different institutions, students are given this project work or the field work. I think in these commerce students, they go for internships also. Now, the data you are to take is your number of students undertaking this type of activity. Now, you are to name the program in which this activity is being carried out, and you are to give the number of the students. Now, this matrix is a quantitative matrix, and this matrix is a formula-based matrix. In this case, number of students undertaking the project work is divided by total number of students and multiplied by 100. So you get the percentage of the students which are taking the project work. Now, in this case, you should upload any additional information if you feel so, or list of the programs and number of students undertaking the project. You know, you are to give the details of the students also. So these are what the two examples regarding first criteria. Now, as far as second criterion is concerned, this is very, very important criterion for every institution, especially the colleges: teaching, learning, and evaluation. And the key indicator is student enrollment and profile. So at the time of the admission, how you enroll your students, what is the profile of the students which you are enrolling at that time, whether you are following the university guidelines or not, whether you are following the government guidelines as far as reservation is concerned, or like that. Then next 2.2 is catering to the student diversity. You know, when admission occurs, we always want that maximum type of students should enter our college. First of all, we have co-education colleges. Our Govt.Science college is a co-education college. So how many girls and boys they take admission in the college? You know, about this college, I shall like to say that initially there were higher number of males than the females taking admission in the college. But as the time passed, I think now the females number is higher than the males, if I am not wrong. Then the students belonging to different geographical positions, that may be from some other state, even some foreign students take admission over here there. Then also students belonging to different economic backgrounds, so different social strata, then how the institution is catering to their needs. And also Divyangjan, special students take admission in the college. So we are to be careful about their needs also. Now, whether institution is taking care of this student diversity or not, that is considered in second key indicator. Third key indicator is teaching learning process, which is very, very important. How you are imparting your information. We will discuss the details the day we will discuss this criteria second. Then teacher profile and quality. Qualifications of the teachers, how the teachers are being selected, that is their placement process, and academic qualifications and other qualities of the teachers, whether they are capable of using the online activity or not, whether they are tech savvy or not. Then evaluation process and reforms, which is again very important, and some part of it is dealt by the universities themselves and executed by the higher education institutions, that is the colleges. Then student performance and learning outcomes. Now, according to our National Education Policy 2020, every course is to be framed based upon the learning outcome. That what type of learning will be there after studying that particular course or after doing that particular. Then we, according to this key indicator, what is the performance of the students and what type of learning outcomes are achieved by the students, that is at the end of a course or at the end of the program. Now this student satisfaction survey, as I was talking, that now the student satisfaction survey is directly carried out by NAC. When you submit your self-study report, at that time, you are to give the list of the students, their email IDs, etc. There should be at least 10% of the students which will participate in this process. It may be 100 in case of colleges, or 500 in case of universities, or the 10%, whichever value is less. So if we look at the weightage, the weightage regarding first key indicator in universities is 10, 20, while in case of UG and PG college, it is 40-40. While in the second, catering to the student diversity, you know, the weightage in case of UG and PG college is 50. This is very important, how to cater to the student diversity. If you are caring for all the factors and give satisfactory, truthful answers to all the matrices, then teaching learning process, again 50-50 weightage is there. Teacher profile and quality, 60, very important. What type of teachers you are having in the institution. Evaluation process and reforms. You know, in this case, 30-30 for the colleges, while 40 for university, 50 for the autonomous college, because they manage these things from above. Now, student performance and learning outcomes, maximum weightage in case of affiliated colleges, that is 60-60. So you are to calculate out, you are to care for that when a student passes from your institution, what type of learning outcomes are there? Maybe of a program, maybe of a particular course. Student satisfaction survey, you know, in case of colleges, the weightage is 60. You know, actually, this is the true reflection of working of the higher education institution. What students say about their own institution, that matters a lot. That is why this is carried out directly by NAC. And when the student will get the email, there will be 21 questions. 20 questions are objective and 1 question is subjective. So student is to give the feedback based upon the asked information. Now I will exemplify by giving 2 examples. One is 2.1.1, that is average enrollment percentage. In this case, number of students admitted year-wise during last 5 years and number of sanctioned seats year-wise during last 5 years. So data is total number of students admitted and total number of sanctioned seats. So first you will find out the annual percentage by dividing the total number of students with the total number of sanctioned seats by 100. And then you will add up for the 5 years and then divide by 5. This means the figure you will get for your institution is the average enrollment percentage of the students. This you are to give in this particular type of matrix, which is a quantitative matrix. File description is any additional information if you want to give or institutional data in prescribed format regarding the number of seats and all. Then student full-time teacher ratio, very important. Total number of students enrolled in the institution, total number of full-time teachers in the institution. This ratio is found out. Now, a full-time teacher definition is a teacher who is working in the institution for a complete academic year. Or if there is any additional information, you can give over here. Now, regarding the third criterion, research, innovation, and extension, the key indicators are promotion of research and facilities. Again, this is a key aspect of the universities. Then resource mobilization for research, innovation ecosystem, research publications and awards, consultancy, extension activities, and collaborations. Now, if we look at the weightage, because this first key indicator, that is promotion of research and facilities, this carries 20/20 weightage in case of university and autonomous college, but this is not applicable to UG and PG college. You know, during our previous cycles, the colleges were worried because every college cannot pursue the research. The teachers cannot pursue proper research. So they used to lose weightage over here. So that is why in the new framework, they have modified it. So no weightage for UG and PG college here. You know, still some of the institutions, they wrote to Naac that they are doing the research. So that they were doing the research and they should be given the weightage. That is why for the second part, that is second key indicator, resource mobilization for research. So in this case, 15/15 weightage is there for the UG and the PG college. Then innovation ecosystem. So this is the key aspect of the universities and the autonomous colleges. But wherever there is PG college, 10 weightage is given over there. Then research publication and awards, 100 weightage to the universities and 30 to the autonomous college and 15 to the UG college and 25 to the PG college. So because some of the colleges said they are doing research, they are publishing papers, that is why weightage was given over here. Then regarding the consultancy, this is the basic attribute of universities and the autonomous colleges, while this is not applicable to the affiliated college and the PG college. This does not mean that colleges cannot give consultancy service. If a college is capable of giving consultancy, they can do it, but weightage is given to the universities and the autonomous colleges. Then extension activities, you know, in this key indicator, maximum weightage is given to the UG college, 60. So you have NSS, you have NCC, you have Rotaract Club, you have different type of student associations which are working for outreach programs. So maximum weightage is there, 60 for UG college, 50 for the PG college. Now regarding the collaborations, same weightage is there. So collaborations are, you know, institutions are motivated to have the collaborations. Collaboration will be maybe in the resource sharing, maybe human resource sharing, maybe knowledge sharing. You can do some activity in collaboration with others. As Nidhi was also discussing with me, when we collaborate, what happens? I shall like to clear to Madam Nidhi, if you collaborate with some other institution, then you will get weightage, you will get some credit in this key indicator. Now, first example is number of papers published per teacher in the journals notified on UGC website during the last 5 years. So a lot of discussion is going on regarding this in every conference regarding the papers and all. But here I am concerned about the data which is to be given in the self-study report. So here the number of research papers in journals notified in UGC website during the last 5 years. So in first year, second year, third year, so you will put up the academic year and then the number. Very simple table is there. But as far as data is concerned, you are to give the title of the paper, name of the author or the authors, department of the teacher, name of the journal, year of publication, ISBN or ISSN number in case of the books. Now, this is a formula-based quantitative matrix. In this case, number of publications in UGC notified journals during the last 5 years divided by average number of full-time teachers during the last 5 years. You know, here you will write a figure in which average number of full-time teachers is to be given during last 5 years. So the whole publication record is divided amongst the teachers. So credit is based given to all the staff, you know, by dividing by that. Maybe a few teachers published a lot in the institution, but your data will be divided by the average number of full-time teachers. Now, any additional information you can upload and give the link or list of the research papers by title, author, department name, year of publication, or anything you want to clear more, clarify more to get the good credit, you can give over here. Now, extension activities are carried out in neighborhood communities, sensitizing students to social issues for their holistic development and impact thereof during the last 5 years. You know, this 3.3.1, this is a qualitative matrix and having 10 weightage. The whole evidence will be looked into by the visiting peer team. So you are to describe the impact of extension activities in sensitizing students to social issues and holistic development within a maximum of 500 words. What type of activities your students are carrying out, the outreach activities at the college level, at the community level, or at the district level, at the state level, what type of activities they are carrying on. And what is the impact of those activities on the students' holistic development? And what is the impact on the community for which they are carrying out those activities? We can start discuss these in detail while discussing this criteria. Now, if there is any additional information, you can paste the link for additional information or upload any additional information if you feel it is there. Now, regarding the fourth criterion, infrastructure and learning resources. You know, first of key indicator in this case is physical facilities. We start the institution, then slowly and slowly the number of the students, they increase in the institution, then number of courses increase in the institution, then number of programs increase in the institution. So your physical facilities are to keep pace with that expansion in the academic activity or the administrative activity of the institution. Then library as a research learning resource. Library is very, very important aspect of the higher education institution. But this library is not now as simple as it used to be. Now library is a e-library. There is a learning resource management system in the libraries and different type. We can discuss those details the day we will discuss this criterion in detail. Then IT infrastructure, which is very, very important. IT infrastructure is increased multifold, I think, during the recent years. And Naac was the one who stimulated the institutions to have this infrastructure in the colleges and universities more and more. But during this pandemic times, we have realized the importance. Now we are wholly solely dependent upon this, starting from the last March up to today. Now they say that even in near future, we will not revert back 100%. Now we are realizing that maybe some part of our syllabus or some of our courses can be carried out online itself. Then maintenance of the campus infrastructure. You know, having the infrastructure and maintaining the infrastructure, I think maintenance is much more important. If you should keep some money every year to maintain the already existing infrastructure. And also for sustainability, for environment protection also, it is desired that a thing which can be maintained, which can be repaired, which can be kept in working condition for maximum time, that is favored. Now, if we look at the weightage in physical facilities, 30-30 in every, this is the most harmonious criterion and the key indicators. The same marks are there. Library as a learning resource, 20 in every type of institution. IT infrastructure, 30-30. Maintenance of campus infrastructure is 20-20. So you will have to keep the evidence for the maintenance. How much money you spend every year for maintaining those bills and the items which you maintain. So the total weightage in every type of institution is 100 in this case. Now the institution has adequate infrastructure and physical facilities for teaching, learning, classrooms, laboratories, computers, other equipments. In science college, there are many type of apparatus and all that. So this is a qualitative matrix. You are to describe the adequacy of your infrastructure or the physical facilities in maximum 500 words and upload it over there. And when peer team will visit, they will be finding out whether all the facilities are according to your self-study report or some deviation is there. So you, if you feel that in 500 words, you could not write about in detail about everything, you can upload any additional information and paste the link for additional information. Now 4.1.3 matrix is quantitative matrix. In this, percentage of classrooms and seminar halls with ICT enabled facilities such as smart classrooms, learning management sources, etc. Now, in this case, number of classrooms and seminar halls with ICT facilities, what you are to see is number of classrooms with LCD facilities, number of classrooms with Wi-Fi or local area network facilities, or number of smart classrooms, number of classrooms with LMS facilities, number of seminar halls with ICT facilities. So this is a formula-based matrix. In this case, number of classrooms and seminar halls with ICT facilities is divided by total number of classrooms or seminar halls in the institution. So with this, you will find out the percentage. If there is any additional information, you can upload and you can paste the link as already told. So upload the number of classrooms and seminar halls with ICT enabled facilities as a data template. Now regarding the fifth criterion, student support and progression. In student support, there is your guidance cell, placement cell, counseling cell, scholarships, any type of help to the students, the help to the special students or like that. And then is the student progression. How the progression is two ways always. Either the student go for the higher degree or the student go for some placement or the employment. Then student participation and activities. So in this, all the activities which are carried out by the students, they are considered. Then alumni engagement. Alumni is the most important part. Alumni are our wealth of the institution. They are our human resource wealth of the institution. So we are to keep our alumni attached with the institution for two reasons. Number one, they will always give you a correct feedback of the institution. Another one, our alumni is always empowered alumni. They achieve greater heights in life and they become so empowered that they can help the institution also. So in this case, the help is of two types, either monetary help, and I will consider the other help more important, that your alumni can guide your present day students also in different aspects. Now regarding the weightage, Student support is 50 weightage for the UG college, 50 weightage for the PG college. Student progression, 30 weightage for UG and 25 weightage for PG. And student participation and activities. You know, in this case for university, it is 20, autonomous college 30, while in UG college, 50 weightage is given. That is, maximum concern is shown regarding the activities of the students. Your students should be highly active for the sake of their holistic development. 45 is for the PG college, and this will be applicable to our Govt.Science college ground. Then alumni engagement, 10 weightage in every type of institution. So we find total for university is 100, total for autonomous college is 100, total for UG college is 140, and total for PG college is 130. Now, for example, this is a quantitative matrix 5.1.3. Capacity building and skill enhancement initiatives taken by the institution include soft skills, language and communication skills, life skills. For example, yoga, physical fitness, health and hygiene, as in Government College Ludhiana, Dr. Jaswinder Kaur is creating these facilities these days. She discussed with me in one of the meetings. And ICT computing skills. So the matrix goes like this. In A, all of the above facilities are there, or 3 of the above are there, 2 of the above are there, 1 of the above are there, or none of the above are there. So the name of the capacity building and skill enhancement, year of implementation, number of students enrolled, number of agencies involved with the contact details. That is, you cannot say just like that. You are to give the complete evidence for existence of these facilities. Why? Because this is a quantitative matrix. This will be analyzed by the data validation and verification team. So if you find some additional information, then you are to give the link to the institutional website. Any additional information or details of capability building and skill enhancement initiative is to be given in the file. Then again, quantitative matrix, average percentage of students progressing to higher education during the last 5 years. That higher may be UG to PG, maybe PG to MPhil, but according to our National Education Policy 2020, this MPhil degree is eradicated now. This PG to PhD, MPhil to PhD, PhD to postdoctoral, or like that. So a percentage you will find out number of outgoing students progressing to higher education and total number of final year students. You know, this whole data which is in the denominator, this is taken from your profile of the institution as I will discuss that part at the end of this lecture. Now, file description is upload supporting data for student or alumni, any additional information, details of the student progression to higher education. This is to be given in form of a data template. And this quantitative matrix is having 15 weightage. Now, the 6th criterion, again very important, governance, leadership, and management. This matters a lot to the institution, because this is the criterion in which the vision and the mission of the institution is to be formed. So first key indicator is institutional vision and leadership. Every institution should have is started with a particular vision. You know, with the advancement in time, the institution can change the vision also. They can widen the horizon of the vision also. And this is mostly dependent upon the type of leadership you are having. Leadership matters a lot in the institution. Then next is strategy development and deployment. The leadership in the institution with their team, you know. This is not that in this case that everything is decided by the leader only. This is the capability of the leader to take along the whole team and give free hand to the team to decide certain good things for the institution. So internal quality assurance cell in the institution, they prepare the strategy, and that development of the institution is strategically based upon that strategy. Then faculty empowerment strategies are there in this criterion, because faculty is empowered according to the will of the leadership of the institution. So always we should look for the ways and methods by which we can empower our faculty. Now today we are talking to each other. Today's webinar is just to empower the faculty. Here I am also getting empowered, because you will be asking the questions and discussing with me many points. I will learn new points also. So today's activity you can count in faculty empowerment program. Then financial management and resource mobilization is carried out by the leadership. Whether you are using your financial judiciously or you are spending more on a thing which is not very important. So judicious use of the financial resources is very, very important. And also resource, how you mobilize your resources. The resource should be mobilized in a manner where it is maximum needed. That is, our institution should be a learner-based institution. So whatever we are doing for our stakeholders. So there should be maximum advantage to the stakeholder. While you are mobilizing your resources, you are to keep this thing in mind. And a very important part in this case is internal quality assurance system. You know, after the first cycle, internal quality assurance cell is set up in the institution. Every activity should be under the aegis of the internal quality assurance cell. So that is why you must have seen now webinars are there in every college. At the top, there is written by internal quality assurance cell of the institution. So everything is decided at this level by taking in consideration the leadership will, and then that is executed by the whole institution. Now, as far as weightage is concerned, the first key indicator, institution vision and leadership, 10 weightage in every case, while strategy development and deployment, again 10 weightage is there, while in faculty empowerment strategies, 30 weightage is there. So very high importance is given to the faculty empowerment strategies. Then financial management and resource mobilization, 20-20 weightage in every case. Then internal quality assurance system, 30 weightage. So if you have a proper internal quality assurance system, then you can get full 30 marks in this case. Now 6.1.1, this is the matrix which is a qualitative one. The governance of the institution is reflective of and in tune with the vision and mission of the institution. So you are to justify it by having a write-up in 500, maximum 500 words. In this, you will discuss the vision, mission statements, and the nature of governance and perspective plans of the institution and participation of the teachers in decision-making bodies of the institution, you know. So the governance has to be participatory one. It should not be unidirectional one. There has to be participatory management in higher education institution. So if you feel there is more information, you can paste the link for additional information and upload it over there. Then 6.3.1 is the institution has effective welfare measures for teaching and non-teaching staff. You know, this is very important. So you are to provide the list of existing welfare measures for the teaching and the non-teaching staff within a maximum of 500 words. You know, whether there are quarters for the staff or not, whether there is some insurance policy or not. We used to motivate our class 4 staff at different festivals in the institution, or any whether they have some health facility in the institution or not, like that. Then again, a qualitative metrics. Internal quality assurance has contributed significantly for institutionalizing the quality assurance strategies and the processes. You know, institutionalizing means there is some idea given by the internal quality assurance cell that we are to go for a particular practice in the institution. That practice is adopted by the institution, and that has become the habit of the institution. This is what we call as institutionalization of the best practices or the type of practices. So you are to give a write-up of 500 words, proving this point that really your IQAC is very, very active and has done so much in the development and improvement of your institution in academic, in administrative fields. Now, the last criterion is institutional values and best practices. This is having 3 key indicators, and this is the essential criterion. You cannot opt out this one. Institutional values and social responsibility, best practices, and institutional distinctiveness. This is a very, very tricky criterion, and people use a lot of energy to think initially that which type of best practice should I write, which is the distinctiveness of my institution. But the institutions which have undergone first cycle, second cycle, now they know their goal clear, and they have made these activities as the habit of the institution. Now the weightage is first key indicator, institutional values and social responsibility is 50-50 in every case, while best practices it is 30, institutional distinctiveness it is 20-20. If I think of the distinctiveness of our Govt.Science college, so this is the only purely science college in this region. Now, this is a qualitative matrix, measures initiated by the institution for the promotion of gender equity during the last 5 years. You know, in 7th criteria, we are to care for the equity factor, sustainability, environmental factor. So the most important aspects which are considered during these days, those are dealt with in this criteria, and Naac expects that all the higher education institutions should indulge to solve these problems. So you are to describe gender equity and sensitization in curricular and co-curricular activities, facilities for the women on the campus. So you will discuss for in 500 words. Details we will take up while the day we will discuss this criterion again in details. Now, annual gender sensitization action plan should be there, and that should be uploaded. Specific facilities provided for women in terms of safety and security at the campus, counseling, common rooms, daycare center for young children, or any other relevant information. You know, this daycare center is for the children of the staff, maybe teaching staff or the non-teaching staff, so that they can come to work in the institution without any worry. Then again, the qualitative matrix is describe 2 best practices successfully implemented by the institution as per Naac format provided in the manual. So you are to discuss the best practice which is carried on in the institutional, and you are to discuss it and upload it on the website of the institution, or any other information you want to give that you can upload over there. But there is a particular, because this is very, very important for the institution, and Naac wants that this should be discussed in a proper format. And this format is like this. First of all, you will write the title of the practice. Of course, first you will decide that which practice you are to carry on in the institution. This is not a haphazard practice. That practice should be the one which is suitable to practice in your institution, which will make either academic functioning easy or the administrative functioning easy, or facilitate these two activities in your institution. So you will give the title of the practice, then objective of the practice in about 100 words. That what is the main aim, with what objective you have planned this. Then context. Madam Nidhi is an English professor, she knows reference to context. So in which context you have designed this practice, maximum 150 words. Then what is this practice? The details of that best practice. Then evidence of success. Whether you are successful, you will give the evidence that we are successful, say 75%, and so give the details, but not exceeding 200, approximately 200 words. So whenever we take up something new, always the problems are there, you know. The first problem is whenever some change is there, some additional new thing is there, everyone is perplexed. How this will happen? From where the resources will come? So you are to discuss the problems encountered and resources required in 150 words, or any other information you want to give in this field, or any other problem which you faced, or any other information regarding institutional values or best practices which the institution would like to include. So this is the format in which the Naac wants that you should discuss your best practice. Nidhi, can I take a few minutes more? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Please. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Now, what are the procedural details? Eligible higher education institutions, they submit their institutional information for quality assessment, which is known as IIQA. You know, this is the shortest possible way to tell about the whole lengthy process. So first of all, there is IIQA submission. You know, when you submit your IIQA, at that time, your self-study report should be ready. Because after the acceptance of your IIQA, you will get only 45 days.
ये ना जो कैपिटल वाले ना इनको छोटा कर दो.
You will get only 45 days to upload your self-study report. You know, you should never commit this mistake of not preparing your self-study report fully and submitting your IIQA. So once your self-study report is in hand, only then you submit your IIQA. Then a higher education institution will receive an auto-generated link or ID of SSR on email. Later on, when you clear your qualifying weightage by DVV, that is 25%, you get the green signal, then you can upload your SSR in PDF form on the institutional website. Then qualitative and quantitative metrics, you know, quantitative metrics will be analyzed by the data validation and verification team. And if they need any clarification, so you will be asked clarification through the portal only. No communication will be there otherwise. You are to check your portal, institutional portal. So through the portal, the DVV team will ask for the clarification if it is needed. And there is a specific time in which you can respond for that to the DVV. And then if you get 25% marks, they will give you the green signal, and then you can upload your self-study report on the institutional website. Now, this is very important for the institutions which are to submit their IIQA during these days, or which are to start preparing their self-study report. That is optional matrix. There are certain metrics which are kept as optional. Why? Because diverse type of institutions are there. Sometimes the institution feels that so and so matrix is not pertaining to them, that this is not concerning them. Then they can opt out for that. Of course, there are some bindings. By clearing those, they can opt out. And then the weightage which is for opted out matrix, that will be subtracted from the total. Then your calculation of CGPA will be based upon the total weightage minus the optional matrix weightage which you have opted out, not otherwise. So what are those bindings? Maximum weightage of matrix that can be opted out should not exceed 30. That is up to 3% only. Because 1000 weightage is there, only 3% you can opt out. Or matrix with maximum of total, that is 10 weightage per criteria, can be opted out. You know, it is not that 30 weightage you opt out a complete criteria. No, only maximum 10 weightage can be opted out per criterion. And all the matrices, this is very important, in criteria 1, 2, and 7 are essential. You cannot opt out any matrix from first, second, and 7th criterion. None of the matrices can be opted out. So what is left is criteria 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Even in that, there is another binding. Now, matrix identified as optional can only be opted out. And the list is given in the manual. Then another statement, very important one, is that qualitative metrics cannot be opted out. You know, I was discussing qualitative and quantitative times and again in the examples, otherwise also. The qualitative metrics are looked into by the peer team. They will judge those metrics. But that is why these qualitative matrices, even in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th criteria, cannot be opted out. Only the quantitative matrices which are there in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th criteria, based upon the fact that it should not exceed 10 per criterion, it should not exceed 30 as a total. So this is regarding optional matrix, and any institution can take advantage of this by properly, carefully recognizing the optional matrix for their institution. Now, regarding pre-qualifier, actually, I have already talked about that higher education institution that clears the DVV process will proceed for peer team visit with the condition of a pre-qualifier. The higher education institution should score at least 25% in quantitative matrix. Initially, it was 30, now this is reduced to 25% as per the final score after the DVV process. If the higher education institution does not clear the pre-qualifier stage, then they will have to apply fresh by submitting the IIQA and its fees. Such higher education institutions are eligible to apply again only after 6 months from the day of declaration of pre-qualification status. So this is regarding the pre-qualifier. Now, regarding the assessment outcome, because this is according to the revised framework, the result of the assessment and accreditation exercise will be an ICT-based score, which is a combination of evaluation of qualitative as well as quantitative metrics. This will be compiled as a document comprising 3 parts. Part 1 is peer team report. Of course, this is pertaining to that maximum 30% or lesser in case of universities. Part 2 is graphical representation based upon quantitative metrics. Part 3 is institutional grade sheet. So this is in form of these 3 parts, and this is the table final grade. So if your CGPA is between 3.51 to 4, you will get A++. There are many institutions in our country which are having A++ score. 3.26 to 3.50 A+, 3.01 to 3.25 A grade and accredited. So like that, B++ is 2.76 to 3. 2.51 to 2.75 is B+, 2.01, 2.5 is B, and 1.51 to 2 is C. While if it is equal to or less than 1.50, it is D, but also institution is not accredited one. So in order to have the accreditation status, you are to get the grade up till C, that is you are to have the CGPA 1.51 to 2.00. Now, if any institution want to appeal, if they find that they are not satisfied with the accreditation result, if they are not satisfied, then they may submit the intent for appeal within 15 days and appeal pro forma within 45 days from the date of declaration of result through the HEI portal with non-refundable fee of rupees 1 lakh plus taxes. Now this is again through the portal. This is again online, no letter. An appeals committee constituted for the purpose will consider the appeal and make recommendations to the executive committee, and the decision of the executive committee shall be binding on the institution. Now, generally, the type of decisions are either re-DVV. The institution can again be validated and verified by the data validation verification agency, or revisit by the peer team, or no change. If the committee feels that there is no need for a revisit or re-DVV, so they will give the result as no change. The process of revisit is same, except for the logistic expenses will be borne by Naac in this case. So if reassessment is to occur, institutions which would like to make an improvement in the accredited status, they may volunteer for reassessment after completing at least 1 year, but not after the completion of 3 years. So the option can be exercised only once in a cycle. Reassessed institution cannot come for another reassessment in the same cycle. This is very rare. Now, what is the mandatory disclosure on the institution's website? Self-study reports submitted online to be uploaded after DVV process only in the PDF format. Data templates which are uploaded along with SSR. Annual quality assurance report year-wise. Accreditation outcome document, during the previous one. Certificate, grade sheet, anything which you have got that is to be shown to the world. The higher education institutions may suitably design their Naac tab link to accommodate all the relevant documents. So this ensures transparency in the assessment and the accreditation process. Now, I was talking about executive summary of the institution. You will start actually your self-study report from here. higher education institutions, they applying for assessment and accreditation process shall prepare an executive summary highlighting the main features of the institution. Which are the features? There is an introductory note on the institution, that is location, vision, mission, which type of institution it is. For example, our Govt.Science college is a purely science college, co-education college. Then criteria was summary of the institution's functioning. Institution's functioning will be discussed criteria wise. Maximum words which you can give for every criterion is 250 only. Then brief note on the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges. Initially it was threats, but now the word challenges, SWOT analysis. Any additional information about the institution if you feel. Overall conclusive explanation about the institution's functioning. Now, the whole account may not exceed 5,000 words. Then coming to the profile of the institution. Basic information regarding the institution, then communication information, then status of the, whether it is affiliated to which university and all that, type of institution, minority institution, sources of funding in the institution, date of establishment of the institution, university affiliated to, details of UGC recognition, details of approval by statutory regulatory bodies, location of campus and area, details of programs offered by the college, list of departments, number of teaching and non-teaching positions in the institution, then qualifications of the teaching staff, then number of visiting faculty, then number of students in each academic year, details of student enrollment, date of accreditation, cycle 2, 3, or 4 like that, date of establishment of internal quality assurance cell, cell is established after the first cycle, details regarding the annual quality assurance reports to the Naac, which we send annually. Initially, many institutions last year, they were asking that they could not send their AQRs for many years. Now they are to go for the process. Next cycle, what should they do? Then Naac allowed the submission of the AQRs. Last date was 31st May 21. Now, why I'm telling this is, now this date is extended to 31st August 21 for the AQRs. So while now after the profile, again very important aspect, that is extended profile of the institution. You should give the truthful data in the extended profile of the institute. Rather, whole data should be truthful, but you should be very careful by writing the data in extended profile, because all the data is used in the matrices in the denominator later on. Number of courses offered by the institution across all programs during the last 5 years. Number of students during the last 5 years. Number of seats earmarked for reserved category as per Government of India or state government rule, year-wise during the last 5 years. Number of outgoing final year students during the last 5 years. Number of full-time teachers during the last 5 years. Number of sanctioned posts year-wise during the last 5 years. Total number of classrooms and seminar halls. And number of computers in the institution. So this data is to be given very, very carefully, because this whole data is being used, and your data validation and verification body, they will assure this data from the ASHE data. So the institution submit data at different levels to different bodies. So the whole data should match with each other. And if the data is truthful, it will always match. So this Government Science College is a college with the scientific attitude. So a scientist can never go away from the truth if a scientist is having the scientific attitude. Actually, scientific attitude or scientific temper is required for each and every human being. So the whole process of Naac is ICT driven, robust, transparent. So you should not worry that how you can manage anything. Everything is honestly done. You will get the grade which you deserve. And we should always get the credit which we deserve. We should always discourage the credit which we don't deserve. And the main purpose of accreditation is the promotion and the sustenance of the quality in the higher education institution. That is, which type of human resource, how much empowered human resource we are producing, and how genuine citizen or a global citizen attribute we are providing to our stakeholder. So I think this is sufficient for today, because Nidhi gave me, I think, 1 hour, 2 minutes. I have taken a lot of time. But whatsoever I thought that should be there in bird's eye view, I have tried to discuss. Actually, in order to write a self-study report, you need to go into details of each and every criterion. And also in the process part, we can discuss the ICT part in one of the lectures. So thank you very much for bearing with me. Whatsoever queries are there, here I am giving my email ID and phone also, if anyone wants to clear whatsoever little knowledge I have, because I always increase my knowledge by interacting with my audience. So I have learned a lot from my students. I have learned a lot from my staff at Government Science College Ground, Government College for Girls Ludhiana, Government College to DK. I was the some of the colleges for which I was sort of a tutor, you know. So I have learned a lot from all those colleges, and wherever I have met, I have always learned from my audience, from the people with whom I interact. From this times generation, I have learned about this technology. So because I believe in lifelong learning, even in our National Education Policy 2020, they are giving much emphasis to lifelong learning. So I will learn today also. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. Should I stop
Hello.
sharing?
Can you hear me, please, ma'am?
Yes.
So you can. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ji.
Hanji, ma'am, there's a question. Criteria 2, teaching, learning, and evaluation, where we need to calculate the total number of sanctioned seats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in each course, we may be having a total number of sanctioned seats, let's say 120, but then additional seats also every year, like wards of Kashmiri displaced persons, wards of permanently disabled, single child. These are the additional seats for which we do not have any university sanction, which is required in the DVV. So what should be taken as a total strength of the sanctioned seats?
No, if there is some additional seat, they are sanctioned by that is allowed by the, you know, what is the meaning of the sanction? The meaning of the sanction is permission. So those additional seats are always permitted by, as far as I have been the principal of so many colleges. Every year we used to get a letter from the university that we are giving so many seats for so and so.
Yes.
So, and also I have mentioned regarding the reservation by Government of India or the state government rules. So whatsoever is additional in a particular year, for that year you will add there, because this is discussed annually, you know.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
This is what we are doing. I just wanted to thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hanji, ma'am. I am Sarabdeep Sidhu.
Oh, welcome, Sidhu.
Sat Shri Akal, ma'am. Ma'am, I am working on second criteria.
Yeah.
How can we get good score in second criteria?
This will take one complete lecture, you know, because is a rather a big lecture. We can discuss all the matrices, because today Niti gave me 1 hour and 2 minutes. And I was knowing my lecture will take 2 hours. So I took two examples of 2 matrices only. So in that lecture, we will discuss each and every matrix.
Yes.
And also the ways, you know, if you want to get a good grade or good weightage, you are to work for that since the last 5 years. But
yes, ma'am.
As far as the right presentation of data is concerned, you know, when we were having our first cycle in Govt.Science College Jagrao, people were not knowing the importance of the data. That was the time when we were looking after the papers here and there. I used to attend some of the conferences, and some people used to laugh at me. Why the Garewal is going to attend a conference by spending bus fare and all that the whole day? And sometimes I used to apply for casual leave and go for the conference. But when we started preparing for the Naac process, that is self-study report, I remember at that time our director was Honorable Mahinder Singh Jassal ji. I was in a class, he came to me, he said, ma'am, what registration fees you have given for Women Empowerment Conference at Siddhamakurd? I said, why sir? He said, you give us that slip. We will give you 300 rupees and write in a self-study report that you have attended that. So that was the time we realized the importance of these activities and importance of preserving data of our institution. So that has taught us this. So during the second cycle, again, there was a bit of problem, you know. At that time we started, I called the meeting, and I was the one who told your physics department that you give the whole data to me, not to the IQAC in charge. I will shift it. And I gave the free hand to the IQAC coordinator, our Naac coordinator, Dr. Singh ji, that you start writing. You can call me at any time. Sometimes we used to discuss about the data 11 p.m. at night also. I told him that you can call me at any time and we will discuss about. So that is how we prepared our self-study report at that time. But now I have high hopes upon you people. This is the young staff and the whole process is ICT driven. So there won't be any problem. Rather, you people are more empowered than us.
No, ma'am, we need always your help.
Yeah, we can discuss all the matrices in the second criterion.
Okay, ma'am.
We can you can arrange another lecture also. I can.
Okay.
This is my college. This is the college of my own area. So whatsoever maximum I can do to guide you people and learn from you people, I am always there for you. If you want to ask any specific point in the criteria,
yes, ma'am.
Also, but otherwise,
ma'am, for example, in second criteria, there is a sub criteria that is a 2.4.2, and in that criteria, we have to mention the PhD teachers, but we have only one PhD teacher. So in that, we have to calculate percentage per year, and we only get 4% because we have only one teacher, and the marks for that are 20.
Don't worry, even if you have nil, that is nil. You should be truthful. You cannot give birth to a PhD teacher.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
And this is for 5 years, you know. Initially,
yes, ma'am.
Right?
No, ma'am, only
Only
Dr.
Dr.
Sudhi
Singh ji
हाँ
was
जी,
there,
हाँ जी,
and
हाँ
we
जी,
were
हाँ जी.
9 or more than 9 at the time when I was I started
Yes, ma'am.
teaching. Those were the good time.
हाँ
But
जी, हाँ
don't
जी.
worry, you
Okay.
people are more active than us. You know, you are much ahead. Your generation. Don't feel disheartened.
Okay, ma'am.
Professor Nirmal Singh and Nidhi talked to me regarding this. I just
Yes.
told them that you can do wonders, and you have
Okay.
done wonders within 3-4 days. Now today you are streaming on YouTube. Govt.Science
Yes,
College
ma'am.
Ground.
Yes, ma'am.
I know the times when you people went for youth festivals, and for a drama preparation, my students took just 5 days. On the other
Yes.
side, they competed with the students who prepared for 2.5 and 3 months and spent
Yes,
a lot.
ma'am.
And one of the students was the director in our for that drama.
Yes, ma'am.
We did not spend a penny on that. You know,
Yes, ma'am.
and
Yes,
our
ma'am.
drama was got one of maybe second or third position.
Yes,
Even
second position.
one of the students got individual prize also. So
Yes, ma'am.
I can expect wonders from Govt.Science College Ground, and
Yes.
those number of the wonders will increase like anything.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we can plan that if you like.
ठीक है, ma'am. We have learned so much.
And Nidhi. They will.
ठीक है, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Very informative session. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
I have another query. I'm Rupinder from Government Home Science College, Chandigarh, and we're in the process of writing SSR.
Very good.
And being the IQAC in charge, also there's something else I want to ask from you.
Right.
While referring to the previous 5 years AQRs,
yeah,
in the process of writing SSR, we are discovering that in a particular year, due to some inadvertent error,
right,
we have been able to submit the data in that particular column. For example, how many scholarships have been given to your students in this particular year?
Okay.
So our AQR is showing nil, but
Yeah.
now when we are exploring the DVVs, exploring the data and the proofs, we are discovering, yes, we have done it. Our students have got the scholarships.
Mhm.
So I think we should include it, and we can always write it in the additional information that it was not added in that particular year, but we have data with us. The DVVs are with us. What to do? What do you say about such information?
Your name is Dr. Rupinder?
Hanji.
Rupinder, you see, you have written your self-study report. You have submitted the report.
No, we have not.
No. You have just submitted the AQR. At that time, you missed that data, right?
We are writing the SSR. We are writing SSR.
Right. No, why are you talking about DVV then? DVV is yet to occur.
Because, ma'am, whatever we are putting in SSR, we make it sure that we have the right DVVs with us.
Yeah.
Right now, we are making it sure.
Okay. You have submitted AQR. You are submitting the data online these days.
We have submitted the previous four AQRs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, since we are writing SSR,
yeah.
So we have to compile the data from the last 4 AQRs or the 5 AQRs, right?
Yeah.
But in particular years, we have due to some error or something like that, we have not written that in that particular year any scholarship was awarded to our students. But now when we are rewriting the SSR, we are discovering, yes, in that particular year, let's say 17-18, scholarships were awarded.
Yeah.
तो AQR में वो डाटा नहीं दिया, लेकिन हमारे पास उसके प्रूफ है, हमारे पास वो लेटर्स हैं, तो ऐसा इंफॉर्मेशन
you can write whatever I'm understanding is, any data change is not allowed like that. You can raise a issue in IMS in the Naac website. You can raise a issue. They will also clarify. Otherwise, whatsoever evidence you have, you put the data over there. When DVV will ask, you give that evidence.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Through the portal, you will submit to the DVV those evidences.
Yeah, sure. We would be doing that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
In that case, we can add, and can also ask in IMS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any type of query, very readily they respond now.
Okay, that's so brilliant. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was an enlightening session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Principals from 2 colleges have also joined us today in this online webinar. We would like to extend a very hearty welcome to them. So I welcome Dr. Neena Aneja, Principal, ST College, Moga, in this webinar. You are welcome, ma'am. And the second principal, Dr. Avtar Singh ji, Principal, DTP National College, Dhaka. He is also among us in this online webinar. We welcome both the principals in our national webinar.
And Sat Sri Akal from my side to both of them. I know both of them. Aneja is very good friend of mine. Avtar Singh is a very gentle principal. I know them. Sat Sri Akal from my side also.
Ma'am, there was a query from Renu ma'am. She asked like my promotion of research facilities is not applicable for UG and PG courses in affiliated colleges.
Kindly repeat.
My promotion of research facilities is not applicable for UG and PG courses in affiliated colleges.
Acha, okay. You know, initially, the weightage was given to this part. This is not that this is not applicable. Colleges can promote research. Rather, this government science college, there is a research word in their name. They can pursue their research. It is not there that they cannot pursue their research. But so many institutions, they objected, colleges, that we don't have proper research facilities. Why we should, our grade should suffer for that. So that is why weightage is not given. Promotion can be there. Now, according to our National Education Policy 2020, they say the most of the institutions, they are to render themselves into the autonomous type. There will be two types of institutions if it is 100% implemented, either research intensive institutions or academic or teaching intensive institutions. You know, this was on demand by the institute based upon the pilot project research report that Naac has taken away that weightage. You know.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. There was another question that what is the basic difference between qualitative and quantitative metrics?
Oh, very good question. You know, basic difference is quality and quantifiable, where data is there, proper number is there, formula based, whatsoever formula based matrices are there, and whatsoever matrices are analyzed by the, validated by the data validation and verification agency, they come under quantitative metrics, while the ones which are to be looked into by the peer team, for example, what type of facilities you have, physical infrastructure facilities in the college. I discussed some of the qualitative metrics where you are to write a paragraph. You are to give in paragraph form, not any data in number form or formula based. So qualitative is to be looked into by the visiting peer team. They should keep in mind, while the quantitative ones will be analyzed, verified by the data validation and verification. 70% are quantitative, while 30% maximum are qualitative. This is the difference.
Okay, ma'am, thank you so much. There was another question that what is DVV process?
Oh, yeah. I expected this question. You know, when I was teaching at Govt.Science College, Jagrao to MSc or BSc students, I always used to keep at the end of the lecture that ask me question. I used to keep few minutes, ask me. We used to have seminars. Then if no one asked, you know, then there was the part ask and answer. I will ask and answer. तो मैं अपने आप ही पूछती थी और अपने आप उसका जवाब देती थी. So similarly, there are, and I used to keep certain loopholes in my lecture so that students should ask on that. But sometimes they are very kind to the teacher. They don't ask. Then I used to say ask and answer. So DVV, data validation and verification, I was expecting we can have a lecture also on the process part, because this is to be discussed in the Naac process. But institution should not worry about this part. There is a third agency, Naac people, they do not keep this as accreditation process to themselves. Rather, they get it verified by a third agency, some outside agency, and they will take up your data and they will compare that data with ASHE data or InflibNet or the research papers and all from, data is there now in the domain. So they compare with that data. If they found some deviation in that data, then they raise that issue in the portal, data validation and verification portal. Then, as one of the Chandigarh teacher was asking me that what they will do with that evidence, then the institution gives the evidence in their favor. If the DVV is satisfied, then they will add credit to their CGPA or to their points. They will give credit to or add credit to their points. So this is the third agency, and the process is known as data validation and verification. They validate their data based upon your clarifications also, and they verify their data. And after their validation, you will get the grade. And addition is peer team visit. Initially, everything was performed by the peer team. The process was subjective. And maybe the autonomous body got some complaints or because subjective process always varies, So because we doubt the human beings, so machine is doing the work. So this is the time when we have a faith more in the machines than in the human beings. So our data validation and verification team, they use the machine. Even your grade is calculated by machine. Your curve, that graph is given. That graph is formed by the computer. So computer decides everything. That is why we say ICT driven. So in ICT driven process of assessment and accreditation, DVV is the process which really cares for maximum part of your accreditation, so that this is done in a transparent and justifiable way. This is what DVV I can tell in words.
Thank you so much for your valuable time and informative session. Now I would request Professor Nidhi Mahajan to give you a vote of thanks, ma'am. Over to Nidhi, ma'am.
Good afternoon, all of you, honorable dignitaries, distinguished guests, respected Director Ma'am, Vice Director, dear participants. On behalf of the Govt.Science College Ground, its entire fraternity and organizing committee, I feel immense pleasure to take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to our eminent resource person, Dr. Mohinder Kaur Garewal ji, academic consultant Naac, who spared time from her busy schedule to grace the webinar with her extremely relevant talk. Her ideas will be of immense help while preparing for the SSR and Naac accreditation process. My deep regards and gratitude for the college director and vice director, Professor Nirmal Singh ji, for always encouraging us and providing opportunities to do such kind of events. My deep sense of appreciation and thanks is for the organizing committee, the participants who choose to be live with us and attended this webinar with great enthusiasm. My sincere gratitude is also for the organizing committee which worked so hard for this special event. Last but surely not the least, my special thanks to Mr. Jatinder Singh ji and his team members, Professor Sumit, Professor Parminder ji, for technical support and webcast of this event. And in the words of Chesterton, I would maintain that thanks are the highest form of thought and that gratitude is happiness doubled by wonder. So once again, I thank you all for being with us today. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you.
The feedback link will be shared in both the WhatsApp group. Kindly fill that feedback link, and the e-certificates we'll be giving it in a day. Like tomorrow, you all will be getting the feedback link will be given today and certificates tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Feeling very happy to see this young staff working, and very happy about Nirmal Singh Ji. Nirmal Singh Ji is like a Midas, you know. Whatsoever he touches becomes gold.
Yes.
So he has touched the lives of all of you. So you will surely do wonders. So
Yes, ma'am.
thank you
Yes,
so
we
much.
seek
Thank
your
you.
blessings and your guidance, ma'am, so to go for the Naac process. Thank you. So
May I leave? May I
Yes.
leave now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you so much. See you in the next webinar.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you
Anji.
share the PPT? Because couple of the participants were they were asking for your presentation.
कुछ देर बाद मैं कर दूंगी.
ठीक है, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And have you taken? I think it will be there on YouTube.
Yes, but just in case if somebody is asking.
That. Otherwise, it is on YouTube.
Yes.
Have you taken some screenshots?
Yes, ma'am.
Send me a few screenshots so that I may advertise also your.
Definitely, ma'am. We'll send you the screenshots.
Okay.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, I just want to confirm one thing. For SSR, we have to send 4 years AQAR. Or in SSR, we have to compile 5 years data. Yeah, I'm confused a little bit. We have to send 4 years AQR, or after that we have to send 5 years data. Is it possible for us?
No, 50 year, you know, you are submitting your SSR.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, the rule regarding this, especially the pandemic time, is like this. I was actually expecting this question, but no one asked. You have asked now. Up till December 21, you know, starting from June 20, the 1st June 20 to December 31, you can consider this as one session, prolonged session. But
yes,
this will prolong up to the day your SSR is submitted. If you submit your SSR, say, in August or in September, so the day you log your SSR, up till that day you can put the activities.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.